welcome back to the baddest show in the ENC. That is the Porch Sports Podcast with your man Fonz.
Come on.
Well, it's been a minute, we've been hiding, But again, thanks for tuning in. All of our social media stuff, it's going to be at the bottom of the screen, so I'm going to let it roll enough so y'all can see it. But if you're ever on Facebook, go ahead and get in that war room, man, so you can be on top of everything that we do. And also, when you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere else you at, leave us a rating.
Right.
Help us out, Also, this is the last thing. Please consider subscribing, It'll help us out, because we're trying to get YouTube to monetize our situation here. So help us out, we trying to do. I'm tired of being a freelancer. But with all that being said, let us go ahead and jump into the topic for today. So we had free agency, right? This year's free agency wasn't all that, in my opinion. Simply put, because, in past years, it was crazy. You'll see a lot of crazy free agent signings. This year, not so much. And everybody knows the biggest fish in the pond is, sorry, Mr. Jackson, I am for real. So, a couple of notable names that really took off was Derek Carr to the Saints. Mm-hmm. Does that make the Saints better?
I don't think so. I mean, that's a part of their situation. They needed a quarterback. But I feel like it's going to take a few more signings. Especially, I would think they would look to sign maybe a little bit more on the defensive side of the ball. But yeah, I mean, Derek Carr is definitely a solid pickup. Derek Carr is one of those quarterbacks where I really don't have too much of an opinion on. It's not because he's not good, not because he's not bad. He's like one of those in-between quarterbacks. But I mean, he's better than Jameis Winston, I believe. I
mean, I don't think Carr threw for 5,000 yards yet, but that's just.
Well, no, he haven't did that.
Just saying.
I mean, I believe he was supposed to do that. He was definitely supposed to do that this year with the firepower that he had. But nevertheless, they gave the man a 4-year deal, $150 million contract, $60 million fully guaranteed at the signing, with another $10 million guaranteed in year 3. So he will be with the Saints a while.
Right.
He still has a pretty good, solid offense. They signed Michael Thomas to a 1-year contract. So, but does it make him better was the question.
Yeah.
It makes them a competitor in that division now with no Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we'll talk about the other signings that went on in that division, but it does make them a contender for the division.
I think, honestly, it makes the Saints a favorite for that division simply because that division is horrible now.
Right.
This is please understand, this is pre-draft, and as we all know, the Carolina Panthers got the number 1 pick when they traded their receiver to the Bears. It makes them a contender for that division, automatic, as of today, March 23rd, right now.
Right.
Simply because they have the best quarterback in the NFC South.
You're right.
You got to go up against the likes of Atlanta, who's you go up against Carolina, who's
made some good signings. Carolina made some good signings.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Carolina did it up, and they got the number 1 pick. So
right.
hey,
they
I mean, that's why I said as of today, the draft is like in a month.
Right.
But I think it makes him a contender for that division right now.
Right.
We'll see what happens week 6, week 7 to see what happens. Another quarterback that moved was Jimmy G.
Right.
He signed with the Raiders 3 years, $67.5 million. That was the Josh McDaniels connection.
Yeah.
That was simply that, you get a quarterback that you're familiar with. Do I think Jimmy G is better than a Derek Carr? No, I do not. First of all, Jimmy G is not durable at all. I think the past 3 years, he missed time.
I think he's a true definition of a managed game
quarterback. Yeah, of course.
Don't make too many mistakes. Don't throw the ball too many times, which they didn't really. They franchise tagged Josh Jacobs.
They did.
They gave him a similar tag like Lamar Jackson, a non-exclusive franchise tag. Which I feel like they should have went ahead. I feel like Josh Jacobs deserves a contract, not a franchise tag. I think they should have signed him because honestly, I feel like he's Josh Jacobs was.
It's not.
He's an important factor of the team.
Yeah, but see, it's not Jacobs per se. It is the fact that the NFL and these offenses do not value a running back
anymore. They used to
If it was like back in the 90s, early 2000s, yeah, he would have got about $125 million off rip.
Right.
But the fact that they don't really value the run game like they used to, it's kind of tricky. So I hope they keep him because honestly, while I feel like Jimmy Garoppolo is not as good as Derek Carr, as far as game manager is concerned, it's like a slight, about right there, upgrade. It's like just a half step up, like in music.
Yeah.
But we'll come back to that one. Oh, another big thing was that Austin Eckler from the Chargers.
Yeah.
He wants out.
Yeah.
Hey, go get your money, big dog.
A few teams I think that he said he wanted to go to was, I know one of them was the Jets.
Yeah.
I don't know where everybody went. Maybe because Aaron Rodgers supposedly supposed to be going there.
Yeah.
Which they're pretty much giving him the receivers that he would need in a sense before they make this move. Like, they didn't already brought Alan Lazard over there, who was a former wide receiver who played with them. I believe Randall Cobb is
I think Randall Cobb is still sitting down somewhere.
But
yeah,
I mean what's his name from the Chiefs?
McCole Hardman. Yeah,
he went over there. So I mean they're building whether they get Aaron Rodgers or not, which I'm thinking they are.
Right.
I don't know I don't know whether it's some type of backup in the paperwork or whether it's a number that they are trying. They spend the money right now signing all these receivers and everything.
Listen,
I mean, me personally, I wouldn't have signed anybody until if he was gonna get Aaron Rodgers, go ahead and get him first because he's probably gonna want the most money.
But yeah. I mean, he already is in the middle of a contract, and he's gonna cost you an arm and a leg. The problem I have with the Jets is not even about the Jets. It's about the Dolphins. The Dolphins made a trade for Jalen Ramsey. Do I think highly of Jalen Ramsey? I mean, to me, he's like the 2020 Richard Sherman to me. You know what I'm saying? But Jalen Ramsey can and will play some good football. I mean, the stats are there.
Right.
But that was a monster trade for Miami. So you're looking at Miami. They're pretty much working on that defense. They got Deshaun Elliott from the Rams by way of Baltimore. They're showing up at defense. The Miami might be coming out the woodwork. To be real,
they might. I mean, like you said, I mean they already pretty much go ahead and building that defense up.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is great for them. We've seen in the past how good they can be on defense. Like that third down conversion thing was out the woodworks maybe like a year ago. I think last season it was like 33% third down conversion, which is a possession down. You know, if you don't get that third down conversion, typically you'll kick off the ball unless you go for it on fourth down, but that's not likely. With Jalen Ramsey there, I feel like, he's going to bring some experience to the secondary.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good corner. Like you already said, the stats already show it. And it really don't. I mean, honestly, corners, like good shutdown corners, isn't really heard of anymore, in my opinion. I mean, you have your Jalen Ramseys and those type of caliber corners. I mean, they still are existing, but as far as like somebody like Darrell Revis, like you couldn't throw on his side of the field. It's not really heard of anymore. But yeah, I mean that was a great sign. I'm surprised that the Rams was willing to do that. I mean, if you look at the Rams, which we're kind of skipping all around, but if you look at the Rams, they don't have anybody but Aaron Donald and Cooper Kupp.
The Rams got to sell the house. Because you got to understand, they put all their chips in the middle of the table a couple of years ago, especially with that Matt Stafford trade. So they put all their chips there. Now the mortgage is due. And now I got to give them pieces away. I got to meet this bill right quick because I'm about 3 months behind. They gonna come repo my stuff. Right. But I mean, big shout out to the Dolphins, man. They trying to run it back. They need to get that quarterback situation situated.
It's gonna. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers go over there, which we don't know yet. Yeah. I don't know what Aaron Rodgers is doing, honestly. I mean, I know he's out of his dark place, which I never understood that anyway. Me personally, I know we've been spoke about this several times, but this is just my opinion about the whole scenario. Why do you have to go in a dark place to figure out whether you want to leave Green Bay? I don't understand why that is such a hard decision to make. Maybe it's not about football. Maybe it's about his family and whatever. But
he's a California boy. That's the part that bothered me with this dude.
But I mean,
it's like, okay,
I don't know what is so hard to think about.
He's a diva.
Green Bay never really built around you like they should have. Yeah. You've only had a few successful seasons there as far as maybe contending for a Super Bowl.
He got one.
I mean, he got one. I don't think it's really nothing to, really think about. I mean, but everybody seems like they want to go to the Jets. I know Odell said he was considering going to the Jets. We just talk about Austin Eckler. Everybody want to go to the Jets because there's rumors that Aaron Rodgers will get there. So if Aaron Rodgers get there, and I feel like the Dolphins will be out completely because they don't have. I mean, it's going to be between Josh Allen and Aaron Rodgers. Patriots and the Dolphins will probably be the two to fight for whoever comes in third place.
I don't think.
But then again, I don't know because the Dolphins' defense is kinda up there with as far as in that division.
Yeah.
They're probably number 2. I give them underneath the Bills.
Because we can both say that the Patriots got the worst team in that division.
Yeah.
But there is conjunction junction. What's your function? So the Patriots went shopping. The biggest name that they pulled out of this free agent pool was Juju Smith-Schuster, Super Bowl champion Juju Smith-Schuster. 3 years, $33 million, $11 million a year. Then they followed that up and they signed former Dolphin tight end Mike Gesicki, which he still had some tread on the tires, if you will. But as I'm looking at their, they signed former Raven Chris Board 2 years, $6.7 million. As I'm looking, they did a little something. They did get Jabril Peppers and everything, but like I said, the Patriots are shaping up to be number 4 in that division, in my opinion. Because you got, if I can rank those quarterbacks in that division in order, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers, whenever he get there. Then you got Tua. Then you got, what's his face? Mac Jones. Or whoever. Who? Mac Jones. Who? That dude. So
but if the Jets don't get Aaron Rodgers, they'll have Zach Wilson, right? Is Zach Wilson still over there?
Zach Wilson's still there.
So, yeah. But honestly, Zach can throw the rock. Surprisingly. I didn't think he could throw the rock.
But they just traded one of his receivers who was pretty decent.
Right.
To the doggone Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
The Browns browning, as usual.
Yeah.
So this is the team that I think is going to win their division. So you heard it here first on March 23rd, in the year of our Lord, 2023. The New York Football Giants could possibly win their division. And that is not about the quarterback. They locked the quarterback 4 years, $160 million. I forget how much he had guaranteed.
He has. They gave him $35 million in incentives.
Okay, so
it's all about
his
how
contract
many,
is
whatever he does.
He got to
perform.
He got to work. The biggest acquisition that they did was that they traded for Darren Waller.
Yeah, that's big.
That was huge.
That's big time.
That was huge. So
big time. That was better than that. What's his name? Randolph.
Yeah.
Viking tight end.
Yeah.
That was better. I thought that was a good signing, but not really. It didn't really work out. And Randolph got a lot of.
He had a lot of miles.
He got a lot of miles on him. But Darren Waller, though, a guy that can run the route tree, big. Tough.
He's a tight end playing like a wide receiver.
Man, he reminds me of a Calvin Johnson at the tight end position.
Man, scary business.
Yeah, scary.
They did win a playoff game this year. So, hey, big ups to the Giants.
And as you can see, the Eagles, like I said.
They burned the house down.
Yeah, after the Super Bowl, that'll probably be their last time seeing one. Because, I believe they let Darius Slay go.
They got him for 2 years. He came back for 2 years.
They let one of them.
Who was it? They kept Bradbury. They kept Slay.
Right. It was somebody to let go.
It's somebody crazy.
Either way, they got too many people they got to pay.
Yeah.
Really?
It's not really too many people. They got to pay Jalen Hurts though. And Jalen Hurts got the leverage.
Yeah. I don't see them repeating though. We already know nobody wins that division twice. No. Nobody wins that division twice. I can see that. I think the Giants really do have a chance. Yeah. They did good with Brian DeBall, whatever his name is, former Bills coach or whatever he was, offensive coordinator, one of them. They did a great job with him. Making the playoffs, beating the Vikings as they was underdogs in that game.
Yeah.
I think they gonna have a shot with who they just signed, especially.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be intriguing to see.
It's
NFC
gonna
East
be
is still gonna be on the radar.
It's gonna be some good football, especially from the Giants coming out the division. This is the first time that I've ever, endorsed the Giants in the offseason. So, yeah. Okay, so getting back to Jimmy G. He's a former 49er. He goes to the Raiders. In turn, they sign Sam Darnold.
That's a waste of money.
Look, they got it to spend. They got it to spend.
They definitely do.
For real. And y'all forgive me. My sinuses has been acting up lately. So if you hear me, I'm sorry. But Sam Darnold, 1 year, $11.5 million. Could this be the end of the 49ers?
No, it's only the beginning. Honestly, I don't think they was looking for elite quarterback. They're looking for somebody that can run the run pass option. They're gonna still use C-Mac a ton next year. I mean, he came in hot when they, signed him or traded for him. They're not looking for an elite quarterback. And honestly, with Sam Darnold, I mean, he's not the best quarterback, but I know he can at least run the ball, maybe extend the play, whatever they're going to do with that. That's up to Kyle Shanahan, which I have a lot of faith in him. Right. I mean, he's an offensive mind. Outside of Andy Reid, I feel like he's like one of the second best offensive-minded coaches in the league. Yeah. And then it's like Sean McVay.
Yeah, but I'm about to say, like, you Sean McVay. You know,
I can't. But, yeah, man, I mean, I wouldn't expect them to make any big signings or even try to pull for, anybody that's left in the free. Unless, I mean, now, oh, boy. Well, Cam Newton.
Oh, here we go. It's those of y'all that been following us for a while, like, since we started. It's been a running gag about Cam Newton. I try to bring him up every once in a while because one of the episodes, this dude had me cracking up.
Well, I mean, Cam Newton is doing workouts. Yeah. I mean, and honestly, I would be okay with the 49ers signing Cam Newton. Honestly, I think that would be pretty darn good. Yeah. I mean, the last time, I don't think Cam Newton ever had a coach like Kyle Shanahan. He's never had a defense like the 49ers. And honestly, that mixture with him being good at running the football and passing the ball at times, that would be something to see. I would actually concur to them signing Cam Newton because he's like one of the few quarterbacks that's left or still looking for a job.
Oh, I need Kevin Hart to help me.
Wait a minute.
Hold up, dog. Now hold on. As much grief as you gave Cam Newton on this platform,
he's still
you are endorsing Cam Newton?
I would endorse him to go to the 49ers. I feel like that would be
just blow it all up. Just blow it all up, cuz.
That'd be healthy for him.
Just blow it all
up. That would change my opinion about Cam Newton.
Wow.
If he has a successful season, if he were to get signed to the 49ers. But nevertheless, that's a fantasy.
That's some Madden type stuff.
Because I don't think nobody is going to sign him.
Yeah, I think I mean, we ain't talk about that. So y'all did all right, and your Steelers. Y'all went and got Patrick Peterson. Good God Almighty! What, Patrick Peterson?
I'm not satisfied.
Why?
I'm not satisfied. It's a good signing. It's a good signing.
Hold on.
He's a great corner. He's a walking Hall of Fame corner, possibly. I'm not satisfied with that signing, just because he's an Asian corner.
He's 32.
He's an that's kind of up there.
That's kind
of up there for a corner.
About over.
For a corner.
He about to say, "This is my last run."
Now I will say that hopefully he stays healthy.
No disrespect to Patrick Peterson. He did play okay last year.
He had a pretty decent season with the Vikings or whatever.
Right.
It's just intriguing to see, he's not a man-to-man corner anymore. He's more of a zone, which I feel like that's still part of the Steelers' defense.
Y'all gave up Cam Sutton. Y'all let Cam Sutton walk.
Exactly.
Y'all let Cam Sutton walk.
No, we let two corners walk in the last 2 seasons that I feel like was great. Mike Hilton, who played the dime corner, who signed with the Cincinnati Bengals, and now this guy, Cam Sutton,
y'all, I'm tell you what you're doing, y'all blowing it up. It's time.
And Cam Sutton, who I actually seen develop as a corner. I mean, he's like one of the only. I don't know.
Y'all like
anyways. So Pittsburgh ain't really never had a corner of Patrick Peterson's caliber outside of Ike Taylor.
Wait a minute. Wait.
Who can you name?
Ike Taylor?
Ike Taylor.
What's the other cat name? It was just him?
Please tell me.
Then y'all have what's my man from Cleveland? Hold up. What's dude from Cleveland? Dang it.
Joe Hayden?
Y'all picked up he my bad. Yeah.
Bruh.
My bad.
But I know you ain't talking about Joe Hayden.
Yeah.
I mean, Joe was all right. He spent way too much time in Cleveland. I mean, that's what happens when you stay in a graveyard team. He came with a lot of cobwebs on him.
Ooh, shots fired. But he still plays some good ball for y'all.
He did, but outside of that, who else? Pittsburgh never really had a corner of Patrick Peterson's caliber. When you hear Patrick Peterson, you know he Petersons. You know what I mean?
Bruh. My bad.
Yeah. I mean, it's a solid side.
It's solid, but it's not.
He's going to give experience to the secondary, which I feel like we need. I mean,
honestly, I feel like y'all traded.
That's the only piece right now outside of the offensive line, which we've been signing a lot of offensive linemen. Which we got a former Eagles offensive lineman, which is great. I mean, that offensive lineman is great. But I mean, if you give Pittsburgh a solid secondary, the rest is done.
The rest is over.
I'm telling you, because the front seven is so disruptive. It's ridiculous, yo. I mean, but I'm excited. Hopefully, honestly, I would let Patrick Peterson play the slot.
Yeah, because he's not fast anymore.
He's not fast anymore. He plays,
and I think he got the skills to cover a slot receiver.
I mean, I like it, but I'm not like overly excited about Patrick Peterson coming.
Like when I seen it,
I mean, I want us to have a shutdown corner, but at that age, it's just no. I think Patrick Peterson.
Yes, so let's move forward real quick. So Seattle, they locked up Geno Smith. All right.
I feel like that was the smart move.
Yeah, that was.
Geno played all right.
He actually did.
He played.
Comeback player of the year.
I mean, he's an argument for that.
Listen,
he's an argument for that because he definitely played He played some good ball here now.
Geno, come on, man. I
thought he was done.
I thought it was over.
Yeah, I thought it was done.
Over.
I mean, I remember when he got drafted.
I remember he got punched in the face.
Oh man.
But Geno, man, 3 years, $75 million, man. Good. Hey, big ups to Geno, man.
Mm-hmm. He deserved it.
Y'all let Devin Bush walk too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was time.
Yeah.
I think it was a bust.
Yeah, that was a definite. But you know what? I can't say he was a bust because he got injured. I don't know whether it's his rookie season or his first year as a pro.
Mm-hmm.
He was injured a lot, but that's still not an excuse. Honestly, what messed us up? I'm still not over this Ryan Shazier. Man.
Yeah, that was
Oh
tough.
my God.
Y'all would have been set for like 10 years.
Oh my God.
With Shazier.
Oh man.
That was like probably of that era, the best middle linebacker period. And that's a lot. I had to see the dude twice a year.
Devin Bush was supposed to give us what Ryan Shazier was going to get, what was, eventually going to give us. Because he had the speed to run sideline to sideline, yada yada yada, which that was similar to what we had with Ryan Shazier.
But Ryan Shazier was a short tackler,
right?
Versus Devin Bush, who was not a short tackler,
right?
So
he couldn't handle it. I mean,
the first technique you learn as a linebacker is to tackle.
But you know what? I knew he wasn't going to last long when we was trying to give him the mic in his helmet, and he said it was too loud.
Oh wow, yeah,
that was cheap right there. That was great value linebacker.
Great value.
I mean, great value is all right.
Shout out to Walmart, man.
Let's begin plastic plates, but we don't need no plastic plates in Pittsburgh.
Y'all need some. Go back to the Steel City. So one of the bigger, I ain't gonna call it a big, but it was kind of a shocker. But then it won't. Baker Mayfield is now a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. He's the heir apparent to Tom Brady.
Woo!
Bruh.
That's what I said, cuz.
They went all the way up and all the way down.
1 year for $8.5 million.
Yeah, they gave him they gave him a little something.
They gave him a little taste.
A little taste.
A piano.
Let it be known, like, we ain't gonna pay you a whole lot of money.
Yeah, look, we gonna pay you to come in and mess up now.
But you know what, though?
It might work.
I don't know.
It may work.
Ain't no way.
It may work.
There's no way. He went.
Look, I don't like him, but I got hope for him. My hope springs eternal for Baker.
Well, that's a very interesting.
And he could have Mike Evans.
Nah, Mike Evans need to leave.
He need to go.
He need to leave.
He need to come up 95.
He need to leave while he can, because it's nothing else there for you. I mean, you had your Super Bowl a couple years ago. You know, you got your one. Yeah, I think it's time to go. I mean, he has spent some time.
I mean,
Tampa.
He has done the doggone thing. He did the gentleman's agreement in Tampa. He serves his due there.
So we talked about Derek Carr.
Mm-hmm.
We done covered Baker Mayfield.
All right.
Adrian Peterson.
I know where it's going.
How do you feel? Now, I got two questions for you. How do you feel first about Adam Thielen going to the Carolina Panthers?
I think it's okay for that wide receiver room due to the fact, you know, he's a seasoned vet. You know what I'm saying? And if they do what I think they're going to do and draft quarterback first overall, that'll be helpful for that young quarterback to go in there and be thrown to an Adam Thielen. Of course, he got overshadowed by Justin Jefferson. I mean, in a big way.
You're right.
But if you look at the totality of it, I think it was a pretty solid pickup for the Panthers.
You know, another wide receiver signing that's going to be interesting to see this year is Justin Fields and DJ Moore. They finally gave Justin Fields a receiver.
They did for
in
Justin
Chicago,
Fields, but they would not do for Mr. Jackson.
Speaking of Jackson, y'all did not sign Jackson. Y'all gave him the non-exclusive franchise tag.
Bruh.
So he's pretty much available.
He's available to
if
31
the
other teams.
collateral is right.
Here's the kicker. Okay, so I'm sure this has been talked about ad nauseum, so I'm gonna give y'all the short version. Basically, another team gives him an offer sheet. The Ravens can either match it or not. They have 5 days to do so. Okay.
Wow.
Here's my thing. Now, in the past, I have, you know, kind of touched at this subject. And at this point, bruh. At this point right now, at this point in my life right now, I don't care what happened. Sign them or don't sign them. It do not matter to me at this point. Because this situation has been going on for 2 years. Now, people is taking sides. You got pro Baltimore, pro Lamar. Of course, the media is killing Lamar because, one, he doesn't have an agent. Remember I told you a while back that the agent not only creates that buffer between player and organization, he also leaks information. And because ESPN, Fox Sports, so on and so forth, is not getting the scoop on Lamar Jackson, who is already a polarizing figure, right? Because they're not getting that, it's like, I don't know something, so I'm gonna make up something.
Right.
Or if I don't, I'm gonna spread this rumor to see what's going on.
I mean, do you see him staying in Baltimore? I mean, or what's a team that?
Honestly, the best team for him. If I'm a Lamar fan, wherever he goes, I'm gonna be a fan of Lamar, even if he plays the Ravens. The best team for him, in my opinion, is Miami.
Oh, that would be dope.
But then again, I'm looking at Washington like. But I would
want to see
I don't want to see him go to Washington. I want to see him go somewhere where he got the best chance to do what he got to do. Miami's that team.
So it seems like everybody is intrigued to go to the AFC East.
Yeah, it's gonna be a if it
Dolphins
falls out like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a long season.
It's gonna be a long season for somebody.
Especially if we bring Aaron Rodgers over there to the AFC.
Fact.
We already got Patty Mahomes, Josh Allen. Like it seems like the AFC is like stacking up on the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Speaking of contenders of the AFC, a team that has not signed any receivers, it's the Kansas City Chiefs. And they have let Juju Smith-Schuster and Hardman walk.
I'm gonna tell you why. It's because they don't need a number one receiver. That's like the only team that really don't need a number.
I understand that, but I mean,
but they need to do something.
Juju is Juju. You can
they got that money.
You can live. I feel like they can live without Juju.
Yeah, I mean
Hardman though, a guy that
actually I wanted Baltimore to sign Hardman though, for real.
He's an asset to that offense to me.
I mean, because he grew up in that offense.
Exactly, and I mean he played well in it.
Yeah,
I mean despite the injuries or whatever they had going on,
I feel like he was more of a situational.
But my
receiver.
thing is, I mean, they're doing a lot with their offensive line and their defensive line, linebacker, safety. That's the only thing Kansas has done.
But they did draft Sky Moore, who did reasonably okay,
right,
last year.
Oh, and they still got Tony over there from the Giants.
They still got Kadarius Toney,
and
they still got my
Travis
man
Kelce.
Travis Kelce. But the defense, honestly, if you want to find a weak link in the Kansas City Chiefs, it had to be their defense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that goes without saying. Teams like Cincinnati was putting 30, 35 on them. They was getting 35 scored on them regularly.
And you know what? Being that a lot of people have left the AFC West, you know, Juju is one, Hardman is one. Who else? Devontae Adams is gone.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Darren Waller was gone.
Yeah.
So they're still a favorite for that division somehow.
I said, when were they not a favorite?
Well, I know that, but it's just like, you know, like we was doing the predictions or whatever.
Yeah.
It was a stacked division on paper.
On paper, that division was supposed to be the NFC East.
Right.
But then when it get down to the crux, you know, the little ice cream in the corner of your eye, when you get to that part. I don't want to talk about them.
Yeah, but you know, it says a lot. I mean, I can concur to your statement that they don't need a number one receiver, but they need some type of skill where I don't know the receiver can create some type of separation from the defender. Like, honestly, just go. Not saying they don't have it, but
just go to the draft.
I mean, they let two. Well, like I said, Juju.
They let Juju has got the Juju. We gonna call him Juju. That's what we gonna call him.
I don't know.
They let Tyreek Hill walk, right? They traded him just because the money they weren't trying to pay him the money he was looking for. What did they go do the following year? Win the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. So that speaks to the organizational structure of the Chiefs.
Right.
The organizational structure of the Chiefs is probably the greatest I've ever seen. You can put any cog in that system, and the system is still going to work. I mean, it's crazy.
It is. I mean, I'm shocked that they let Hardman go. I mean, he wasn't. I was kind of shocked by that. I was. I mean, like I said, Juju is Juju. And honestly, in my opinion, they probably let them both go because, number one, they don't need a receiver, but honestly, they're not to die for.
I mean, really. It's not like,
but you know,
it's not like Travis Kelce getting
Juju is now with the Patriots now, and it's going to be interesting to see how he develops, because one thing I can say about Bill Belichick,
he ain't for that bull jive.
If somehow he can clean up a player. We seen it with Josh Gordon when he went over there and played. He cleaned him up for a year.
No, I think a better example would be Randy Moss.
Randy Moss,
the big boss,
but. It's interesting. I know he won't be on TikTok.
Oh, I know that ain't no Corvette coming around here. Boy, I remember the night that mess happened. Man, I was good. Look, the quick story. I was driving to Shelby. That's way on the other side of Charlotte. And I got the radio thing in my car so you can listen to the NFL games or whatever. And I'm looking at the score. Cause my passenger in the car, we were talking. And I just had to score, because you can just hit a button, the score just be out there. And I'm looking, Pittsburgh getting slacked out there. And Cincinnati was not even that good that year. Mm-hmm. And then when I saw what happened, I was like, yeah. But that's the last time he put something like that on TikTok. And that's been a couple of years.
So I got something for everybody to think about or look forward to. Mm-hmm. A team in the AFC South who, in my opinion, isn't doing enough. Tennessee Titans.
Oh, man. And they shopping Derrick Henry, too?
Well, he's set to become a free agent following this 2023 season.
But I'd rather trade him. I can get something back.
So, I don't think they let him go this season. But my thing with Tennessee is, okay, you got a hard-nosed, 3-down running back right now.
You got a grown man at running back.
Yeah, for real. Like, for real. Like, once he get past the secondary, everything else doesn't even matter. He didn't just let him go.
You know the phrase snatching souls?
He's 29.
He just snatched some souls out there.
He's 29 years old, which is kind of on the aging side for a running back.
But my man's got a lot of wear on them legs, man.
I mean, he had one foot injury.
That's a running back, though.
I know, I understand, but he had a foot injury. I mean, and outside of that, I know they take the most contact on the field.
Yeah.
And people be trying to knock him out. I mean, you have to.
It's like,
you honestly knock him out or he knock you out.
It's a badge of honor to keep him under 75 yards for a game.
Right.
You got to be doing something to keep him like that.
Honestly, if you keep him under 80 yards, you most likely won the game.
I mean, the last time we played him, we kept him at 50. You know what I mean? He didn't get 60 on us.
You know?
But, with Derrick Henry, if they trade him, because I got a feeling, because if they wait until the end of this coming season to trade Derrick Henry, as big of a piece that he is, they're not going to get nothing in return. Mm-hmm. So all the leverage will be on Derrick Henry. Mm-hmm. But if you trade him before June, or I forget the date, it's somewhere around the second week of June, you can get, at best, a first rounder for him. Because there's going to be some team that's stupid enough, some team that's brilliant enough to take that chance on Derrick Henry.
Right.
I mean, honestly, he was maybe about 80% of that offense because Tannehill was not all that. Let's just be real. I mean, the dude did it all. He ran for touchdowns and threw touchdowns. Come on. Right. He took the souls of Josh Norman and Earl Thomas in the same year. So that should tell you something about a Derrick Henry. So it's tricky.
It's still, that situation is tricky. I feel like they're wasting this time over there in Tennessee, honestly. That's a great talent. I mean, the only thing they are missing is a quarterback.
That's it.
And some receivers, possibly, maybe one. Like we said, this is before the draft, so
Tennessee is low key rebuilding. If you really look at it, they're low key rebuilding.
But it's still some free agents out there. Do you feel like Odell Beckham gets a contract deal done somewhere? I mean,
I feel like if he gets signed somewhere,
he's had 2 ACL injuries.
That's tough.
Since 2020.
But now, here's the kicker.
He would still bring juice to any offense.
He could have been, if he would have played that entire Super Bowl, he could have been Super Bowl MVP. Because dude was balling.
Dude wanted that Super Bowl.
He was hungry. That's the hungriest I ever seen OBJ.
He wanted that.
Do I think he's going to get a contract? Yeah. Yeah, I think he's going to get a 1-year prove-it deal. Just to see if he's going to hold up. It's going to be with a couple of like injury incentives and stuff like that. Do I feel like he's going to last the season, though, if he does get a contract? That's a big yikes. In my opinion, that'll be a big yikes. Simply put, because once you look at Victor Cruz, the last New York Giants receiver that had some weight before Odell Beckham, his knees was not made for running. They were made for decoration.
Right.
So, will he get a contract? I believe he will. And I think it'll be like right at the rookie minicamp when these teams are seeing what they have and what they have to move forward with.
I feel like, honestly, if the Steelers was to sign him, I feel like that'd be good.
Y'all don't need him.
I feel like we do.
Y'all, honestly, no, hold up. Honestly, though, all jokes aside,
I feel like that'd be a good signing.
y'all are set at receiver.
No, we not set at receiver.
Yes, y'all are.
We not set. I was mad that we got rid of Chase Claypool.
Yeah, that was dumb.
That was stupid.
That was dumb, but at the same time, it was a smart business move. It was dumb.
I don't know what it is about us with tall receivers, because Martavis Bryant, even though he had some off-field issues, but he's another great.
This goes back
tall,
to Plexico Burris.
Exactly. I don't know what it is about us. Like, we drafted that nigga. Well, we drafted Chase Claypool. We drafted Chase Claypool.
Minute.
Okay.
Hold up. Lawyers.
The views and opinions expressed are not of the Back Porch Sports Podcast and its entities. Viewer and listener discretion is strongly advised.
Thank you. Just put it out there. But
we drafted him. I mean, and he wasn't the best right away. I felt like he was still developing into. First off, he came at the wrong time.
Right.
Let's start there.
Yeah.
He came there with the last wing of Big Ben.
True.
Until a new offensive coordinator. It was just it was all over the place. You know what I mean?
Let me tell you what y'all doing.
And then we gave him.
I'm gonna tell y'all what y'all doing. You gonna love this one. Y'all trying to find your AB. That's all it is.
That's because you never let him walk.
The closest thing you're getting right now, and I hope that bruh does not have a sophomore slump. That George Pickens guy.
Oh man,
that's why. And then y'all still got pieces around him, so he is your viable number one. So that's why you had to.
But the reason why I feel like Odell would be good, for one, he'll bring speed. Well, not speed, but he'll bring
Miami speed.
Yeah, but okay, for one, he's been banged up.
Right.
Okay. But I would love to see number 3 or whatever number he would get in the slot. That way, or even on the outside, because we could put Johnson in the slot.
Because he was playing some slot in L.A. He was eating.
He played, we could put Johnson there, however we want to match it up. I just feel like that would help us, because one of the things that we struggled with was getting the ball down the field. Throwing the ball down the field.
Well, that's because your quarterback was Mitchell Trubisky.
No, but even with Big Ben, we couldn't do it. And that was with very banged up Big Ben.
Exactly.
But
so we can't even really put him into that equation because he was at the end. It was over with. He was at the end 3 years ago, if you want to be real.
And you could get him for cheap.
Yeah.
I know you could. I know
Yeah.
whoever does sign OBJ, it's not going to be a big contract.
It's not. Like, it's going to be a 1 year prove it.
And I feel like that's affordable.
Yeah, really? I mean,
it's affordable talent.
I mean, but at the end of the day, your best ability, you could be the baddest man to walk the planet as a wide receiver, but your best ability is availability. And you got to be able to show up and show out. But
I feel like OBJ would be great.
Y'all got too many mouths to feed over there, though. Like, okay,
we got a quarterback, and another thing is, what's good about this situation for us right now is that our quarterback is on a rookie contract.
Yeah.
So we can spend money on building around him. Maybe just for this season. Well, we don't want to just build around him for just this season, but OBJ, man, that's a easy sign. That's one of the that's an easy signing. But I mean, he's gonna want guaranteed money because of the injuries or whatever.
Yeah,
but I feel like, I mean, why not?
It's because think about it. If I'm the Steelers, I would not want to put my money into that when I have other pressing needs. You have receivers that's good enough to do what they got to do. Quarterback situation,
you got to give Kenny some time. Yeah, honestly, I mean,
you told me something a couple of years ago that's been sticking with me.
Oh Lord,
time is money, and money is time.
He's on his first. He about to become his first year pro.
Oh, pro Shimo.
I mean, OBJ is out there though. I mean,
he's out there. He's working now and everything. I mean, like I said, he's a year removed from tearing his ACL. But a lot of teams, in my opinion, is going to be really nervous and hesitant because of those ACL injuries. ACL is something serious.
You're right.
That's a ligament.
You're right. But I feel like if we can go sign the 32-year-old Patrick Peterson, why can't we sign OBJ?
Because Patrick Peterson don't have an extensive injury history.
He doesn't. But he's not the same Patrick Peterson that we know back when we came out in 2011.
Yes, exactly.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, if we was going to get Patrick Peterson, we should have got him maybe 4 years ago.
Facts.
Like, for real.
When he was like really on the market.
Like I'm saying, like, you know what I mean? Like, Patrick Peterson is good, but I can't stand when you get a player like that when they're Asian. You don't. I mean, the name is great. Don't get me wrong. He might do great things. But
hold on. Go ahead.
It ain't given. Like it was saying.
I'm gonna figure out why y'all signed Patrick Peterson.
Well, for one, we ain't really had no corners.
You really had no corners.
We need some experience back there in the secondary.
So here's the kicker. 2022. This is his most current year. He combined 66 tackles, 0 sacks, 5 picks. His career high, and I'm scanning real quick, is 7. So y'all paid for 5 picks.
I mean, which is good, but people don't realize that I believe we led the league in interceptions.
Yeah, but
without a Patrick Peterson?
But y'all don't have what y'all had when y'all led the league in interceptions. Y'all don't have no more.
I'm just saying, like,
if I could,
and that was just this past year.
Yeah, y'all listen. Statistical categories on defense with the Pittsburgh Steelers, honestly, is legendary.
Not legendary.
But the thing is, y'all don't keep nobody.
That's what I'm saying.
Y'all had a core right there.
What was going through? And we have a new GM. It's no longer Kevin Colbert, who's my first cousin on my dad's side. You know what I mean? You know, because my last name Colbert, his last name. You know, I felt like we had a lot in common.
So y'all responsible for the AB bull.
No. We're responsible for drafting such a talent.
Yes, y'all. That is the thing. I'm glad you said that. Y'all build through the draft. Y'all.
Oh yeah, I'm not even worried about that. Like
y'all are probably.
It's like the rest. It's
top
like
5 in the history of the league that like builds through the draft.
The other 31 teams just don't be seeing what we be seeing.
Lies.
Wait a minute. Wait
a daggone minute. That's lies.
What we be seeing.
As far as receivers, y'all got it.
How people let George Pickens walk cross like
I don't even want to talk about that.
George Pickens.
He's supposed to be wearing purple and black, but we go pick up David Ajabo.
You know, then we stole y'all pick, which I'm excited to see. You remember that Calvin Austin III guy?
Bruh.
He was injured all his whole rookie season, so that's blown out the water.
Yeah.
But he is set to come back. And if I'm not mistaken, he ran the fastest 40, which is not really something that you would cheer about for a receiver. I mean, I want you to be more than fast,
right?
But that's a part of it. I mean,
you gotta get separation.
That's a part of it. It's going to be, like you said, we got a young receiver core.
I say build from that. You might need that veteran presence in the receiver room, but OBJ,
I would love OBJ to come to Pittsburgh. You know what I mean?
honestly, I'm talking. I would love him to come to Baltimore. I mean, I'm talking. I'm just saying, like I'm putting in the atmosphere.
Right,
you know, like don't do
that.
that. Like, please don't do that. No, don't do that.
I mean, and then you get to play, you know, Mike Tomlin. Everybody like Coach T. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he's a player's coach.
Most definitely.
Mm-hmm. That's why AB went crazy.
No, he went crazy because he got hit by Berthoud. Berthoud knocked the wide loose out of him.
Not the screw out of them boys.
No, Juju got him back.
That doggone screw. Yeah, Juju got him back. But did he? It stood over him, grown man style too. That what made it bad.
Yeah.
But I think we can go ahead and end it right here. So again, like we said, I'm sure y'all been glancing at the little new stuff we got going on right there. You know, technology is amazing. But
Until they mess up on you.
till they start messing up on you, then you in trouble. But check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere you get your podcasts. And also, please, if you want to, subscribe to the channel because y'all could have been anywhere else, but y'all here with us. So, with that being said, I forgot, please go to the War Room. It's on Facebook. Holla at us. You know, you can talk to us directly. And we just going to have a good time. So, with all that being said, this is the Bad Boy Sports Podcast with your man, Fonz.
Come on.
And we done. Peace.